You heard from Ken?
No, sir, I have not.
Okay. All right. Well, we can go ahead and get started. Maybe get them on board. Okay. I'm calling the meeting of this July the 30th Board of Appeals for the Williamson County Board of Appeals. Like you're doing right. Okay. And we will start off by having a roll call vote, and each member is, I am asking each member to identify themselves and state whether or not they.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. This is Ronald Crutcher. I can hear everyone. Let's see. Mr. Lee, you are muted right now, looks like.
Yes, I am, but I'm unmuted now, and I'm getting a lot of background noise from somewhere, but I can hear most of what you say.
Okay. Mr. Hughes.
This is Josh Hughes, and I can hear everybody okay.
Okay. And then Mr. Adams on.
This is Glenn Adams, and I can hear everyone.
Okay. The first order of business is to review and approve the minutes of the July 16th meeting.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I need to go over a few things before we get into the business.
Okay.
If there is no objection from the members and subject to Executive Order 51 issued by the Governor of the State of Tennessee, that the Adjustment and Appeals Board finds that this meeting is being held electronically due to the need to protect health, safety, and well-being of the public, and hearing no objection will proceed in that manner. This meeting is available to the public on Public Access TV and is streaming live on YouTube. I do remind the members that each vote must be by roll call vote. The chairman will call your name, at which time you will provide your vote. Prior to making a motion or a second, or asking a question, or making a comment, please identify yourself. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Cook. The minutes were emailed to you, and are there any questions or comments about the meeting, the minutes?
Mr. Chairman, this is Glenn Adams, and Bobby, you and Joe were talking about a typo a minute ago. Is that on today's agenda or in the minutes?
It's in the actual agenda. I'll bring that up when we get to the appeals.
Okay. In that case, I move that we accept the minutes as presented.
This is John Lee, and I second that motion.
The proper motion has been made and seconded. We will vote by roll call, state your name, and either yes or no on the amendment. The amendment, what am I saying? Yes or no to approve the amendment. And this is Ronald Hunter, and I vote yes. Mr. Adams.
This is Glenn Adams, and I vote to approve.
Mr. Hughes.
This is Josh Hughes. I approve.
And Mr. Lee,
This is John Lee, and I vote to approve.
okay, all of the members present vote to approve. We do have a quorum. Minutes are approved. Meeting back over to Mr. Cook to lead us through.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like the record reflect that adequate public notice is given both to the home builders and to the public. I do want to ask before we get started whether Kenneth is on line with us. Okay, hearing none, I'll proceed. Without objection, we will hear Carbine and without objection, we'll hear Crescent Homes, Drees Premier Homes, O South Properties, Region Homes, Ryan Homes, and the Jones Company. I do want to bring to the attention of the board that there's a typo on the agenda. Under Jones Company, it should be lot 46 of Woods at Burberry Glen and not 101. We'll correct that for the minutes. First argument the appellants make is that they've obtained vested rights under the Vested Rights Act of 2014. So the lots at issue are not subject to the impact fee. The act provides that should a developer receive preliminary plat approval from the local authority, development standards in place at that time shall remain the same through the entire course of the development of the property. The appellant argues that the impact fee is a development standard and or development regulation, and therefore the impact fee is not applicable to these developments. It is staff's position that the definition of development standards and development regulations provided in the Act includes standards and regulations concerning local stormwater requirements, local construction standard of buildings, streets, alleys, curbs, sidewalks, and lot sizes. It has nothing to do with the revenue mechanism that we have in the impact fee. These are all standards that concern the actual development of the property. And in fact, the impact fee is not assessed during the development of the property, but when a building permit is pulled. Staff does maintain that should the board find that the impact fee is a development regulation or development standard triggering vested property rights, we maintain that the applicant has provided no evidence that it received any approvals from the planning department or planning commission for the property at issue prior to the adoption and implementation of the education impact fee. Second argument the appellants make is that the impact fee is required to be collected on each subdivision, and the proceeds received from that particular subdivision is required to be used on educational capital projects that only benefit that specific development. This is not supported by the Private Act. Private Act provides that it's the intent of the Act to grant the Williamson County Legislative Body the authority to establish a procedure or system to collect fees from a developer on any new residential development so as to require the developer to share in the burdens of growth by paying his or her pro rata share for the cost of public improvements generated by the new land development activity. Private Act does not require the county to find specific zones to accommodate each subdivision. In fact, the Private Act grants the legislative body broad power to implement the impact fee. To support its decision to have a county-wide fee, the legislative body determined that a county-wide impact fee is needed because of the ever-changing school districts, as well as the fact that development in one area of the county has an effect on schools in another area. For these reasons, Mr. Chairman, we ask for this appeal be denied. At this time, I'll ask whether there are any of the appellants online. Hearing none, Mr. Chairman, glad to answer any questions.
You've heard the staff position given by Mr. Cook. Are there any questions or comments from any member of board?
Mr. Chairman, this is Glenn Adams, and I'm gonna go ahead and pose a motion to deny the appeal.
This is Josh Hughes. I'll second that motion.
Proper motion is made and seconded. The motion is to deny the appeals. If there are no questions or comments, I will call for a roll call vote. Vote yes first. You're voting to deny the appeals. I will begin. This is Ronald Carter, and I vote yes. Hughes,
This is Josh Hughes. I vote yes to the motion.
Mr. Adams,
This is Glenn Adams, and I vote yes to deny.
Lee,
This is John Lee, and I vote yes to deny.
let the minutes know that Mr. Joel is not participating in the meeting this morning. The motion passes 4-0, and the appeals are denied.
Mr. Chairman, that's all the appeals we have for you today.
Okay, we've done well.
Mr. Chairman, this is Joe Horn. And I just want to remind you, we will be having a meeting via this mechanism on Thursday, August 13th at 7:30 a.m.
Okay. Is there any other business to come before the board? If not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I guess if everybody else wants to hang around, this Glenn Adams, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay. All right.
This is John Lee. I second that motion.
All right. Motion made and seconded, and the meeting is adjourned.